He called me sterile. Not in private, not in anger, but in a courtroom, under oath, his voice steady, his jaw proud, as if the word itself was a weapon he'd been waiting years to use. His lawyers didn't flinch. Neither did the judge. But I saw the smirk at the corner of his mouth, that little twitch he always had when he believed he'd already won. I stayed still. My pulse didn't betray me. The pearls around my neck, his anniversary gift, felt like a choke chain. But I smiled. Calm. Controlled. Because I knew something he didn't. The judge asked if I had anything to present before finalizing the annulment. I did. An envelope. Cream-colored. Sealed. I placed it gently on the desk, slid it toward the judge, and waited. We met 8 years ago. He was already rich, polished, the kind of man who never had to raise his voice to be obeyed. I was 26, a financial analyst who still took buses and believed in effort over inheritance. He called me different, said I had the kind of eyes that could calculate profit and pain in the same look. I should have known that was a warning. The first year, he was kind, protective, almost gentle. Then came the contracts, prenuptial clauses hidden between endearments, legal language disguised as love. Just formality, he'd said, kissing my forehead. You trust me, don't you? I did. Back then, I thought trust was proof of love. Now I know it's just currency, and he overcharged me. It started small. Late-night phone calls, new passwords, a sudden interest in business trips that didn't require luggage. Then the messages. One from a woman named Celeste. The irony of her name didn't escape me. She wrote, "He said he'll be free soon. The sterile one won't drag him down forever." I read it twice. Then once more, slowly. Sterile. The doctor's diagnosis had been his, not mine. Low count. Poor motility. He'd begged to keep it secret, said it would ruin him. I'd agreed. I even let him craft the story that I was the barren one. For love. For him. That night, I stopped being his wife. I became his lesson. Revenge isn't rage. It's arithmetic. You subtract emotion, add precision. And when the balance sheet closes, you let them drown in their own deficit. He thought I was powerless because of that clause, the one stating that if our marriage ended in divorce, I'd walk away with nothing. But he'd been too arrogant to imagine another scenario. An annulment, for instance, voids a clause entirely, especially if it can be proven that the marriage was entered under fraudulent terms. So I hired someone he wouldn't suspect, his own company's junior accountant, who owed me a favor. Within weeks, I had what I needed: shell accounts, hidden transfers, a side company registered in his mistress's name, and a series of emails, dated months before our anniversary trip, discussing how to dissolve the marriage once the sterile story stuck. Back to court. The envelope. Inside, the judge found everything: emails, bank statements, medical reports, including one that clearly identified him as the one with infertility, the report he'd forced our doctor to alter. The judge's eyes lifted, slow and deliberate. My husband's smirk evaporated. He shifted in his seat, eyes darting from me to the papers, to his lawyer, and back again. "Mr. Wexler," the judge said quietly, "you might want to reconsider your petition for annulment." He opened his mouth, but no sound came. The courtroom was silent, except for the shuffle of the judge placing the envelope back down, as if sealing a coffin. Fraud, perjury, defamation, 3 charges, and a pending investigation into his hidden offshore accounts. By the time the gavel struck, his millions were frozen. His reputation, The empire he'd built on control and image shattered like glass beneath a shoe. He looked at me, eyes burning with disbelief. I didn't look away. For the first time in 8 years, I spoke without trembling. "You should have read the fine print," I said. People think revenge is loud, that it comes with shouting, breaking, chaos. But real revenge is silence. It's the sound of a man watching his empire collapse while you stand still, unblinking, in the ashes. They asked me afterward if I felt bad, if I missed him. I told them no. I don't miss the man. I miss the illusion I built around him. But illusions, once exposed to truth, turn to dust. When I walked out of that courtroom, the press swarmed him, not me. Reporters shouting, cameras flashing. The same flashes that once adored him now burned him alive. I passed by quietly, envelope in hand, the same one that ended his world. And for the first time, I didn't feel small. I felt precise. Because when he called me sterile, he wasn't entirely wrong. I can't bear his children, but I did give birth to something else, his ruin.